Looking at, as you turn to 1 Timothy 4, to Pello, when you think about like interpretations, emotions, traditions, which one of these three do you think could be could tempt you away from the scriptures? Um, hmm. I think the first one about interpretation, because I think for a long time, I mean, like what you said about my uncle and my dad, like I knew that a lot of this stuff didn't make sense to me. So as far as tradition, I can see how that stuff is not right. That's why I really haven't given my heart to it. But I do think I'm not really too emotional, but I do think that interpretation is a big one because sometimes I want to pick and choose. I kind of develop my own morality. It's like I feel like sometimes I develop my own Bible. I kind of like I won't smoke, but I want to sleep around, or you know what I mean? Like, well, I'll kind of pick and choose my sense of morality. So I think that first one is really important. You know, it's not about who's right, it's what's right. I need to accept the Bible as an absolute and not kind of pick and choose what I want to follow. So I think that's what I would say. Okay, great job, DePillo. It's good that you see that, because that's where people can go. For some people, it's different things. All right, well, let's take a look at 1 Timothy 4. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 16. Let's see what the Bible says here. The Bible says, watch your life and doctrine closely. Persevere in them, because if you do, you will save both yourself and your hearers. Wow. So what do you see here, Isabella? Um, how we live and what we believe is an issue of salvation. Very good. Well done. That's exactly right. So this is huge because it's not just about what you believe, it's how you live. There's a lot of people that know how to act pious, right? They look pious, but their doctrine's off. It's kind of like when we studied out emotions in John chapter 8, like religious people can be wrong, right? Religious people can be wrong. You can really believe something and feel like, oh my gosh, I feel so close to God, and you feel sincere about it, but you can be sincerely wrong. And so, in the same way, here we have to watch both what we believe and how we live, right? I always give the analogy of, you know, what wing on the plane is more important, the left wing or the right wing, right? Of course, both of them are important. And so this is huge because both are important, right? So now I'm just kind of fast forwarding along here. So the key thing moving on to Pello is that if you look at this, if you have a wrong life, guess what? You're not saved. You can believe the truth and live a wrong life and not be saved, right? Also, if you have the wrong doctrine, you also cannot be saved. So, for example, you think about Gandhi, right? Everybody knows Gandhi, right? He fasted, he stood up for social rights. I mean, it seems like he lived a pretty quote unquote pious life. But did he believe in Jesus? No. Well, then is he saved? No. So a good quote unquote moral life doesn't save you, does it? Well, consider Judas. Did Judas know the true doctrine? Judas, he was one of the 12, right? Yes, yes. Did Judas know the truth? I would hope so. He walked with Jesus. Exactly. But did he live a right life? No, he's the one that gave the 30 pieces of silver, right? Didn't he the one that turned Jesus in? Exactly. So is he saved? No. So there's examples of a guy who quote unquote lives a good life, quote unquote, in the world's eyes, like Gandhi, but he's lost. And a guy who knew the truth, like Judas, but he didn't live the right life. And he also was lost. Pretty intense, huh? And so that's why we got to watch our life and doctrine closely, because if we're not studying this stuff out, we can be deceived. We can be led astray. So we got to watch both our life and doctrine closely. And again, how do we do this, right? By watching it closely, but also by making sure we stay what? In this.